It's your boy Karceno here, and I heard the statements that Floyd Mayweather made. A lot of people were screaming and yelling, "They're racist!" I was out of town when this happened, so I missed a lot of it and all of this stuff, and I missed a lot. But according to these statements that were made, Floyd Mayweather went on a rant that people were saying. So I read it and I said, well, this didn't seem like a rant. There was nothing he said that wasn't true. And he was just bringing things to light because people seem to omit certain things. So he's bringing it out so that people would ask the questions and go, yeah, why didn't Layla Ali get these things? Why is Triple G getting all these endorsements? Why this dude could barely speak English? And he's in a commercial that he didn't even talk in. They could have gave that commercial to anybody else. Why is that for Triple G? Why is all these people getting these endorsements? Who basically from other countries. And Conor McGregor, he's from Ireland somewhere. And Ronda Rousey, she just got her teeth kicked out. And she's getting endorsement deals, movies, and she's on Saturday Night Live like, I got my teeth kicked out. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So what would you chalk it up as? Are those fighters better than the other fighters that we're talking about? Or are they hyped up to be better? And why are they promoted? Why is that? If not race. That seems to be the only determining factor there is race. The black fighters didn't get that push. They had to make themselves. Did HBO ever promote Adrian Broner or push Adrian Broner? No. Adrian Broner had to promote and build his own brand. And Floyd Mayweather had to do the same thing. They had to build themselves. They didn't have a pat on the back. Nobody pushed them to be in those positions. Those opportunities weren't there for them. But why not? Lennox Lewis was heavyweight champion of the world. He didn't even get that push, and he was from England. HBO was pushing a guy who barely had any experience in Klitschko. They were crucifying him in the post fight. And Lennox Lewis is their champion. He working them for HBO. You bashing him because the other guy, eye about to fall out of his head. But you going, man, if this fight would have kept going, you would have lost. I'm like, you're supposed to be commentating the fight. And Lennox didn't even fight no more because of that. I wouldn't have fought either. I've been like, look, I'm gone. Y'all trying to make me lose. I'm deuces. I'm out. I got my money. So, did I agree with Floyd's statement? Absolutely. 100%. But the thing is, that throws me, a lot of people was like, your boy Sean lost his mind. You need to comment about Sean. He's out of control. And this and that. And you got to talk about this. And Sean's video, I saw both of them. And where Sean went over the line is when he's saying that you can buy your way out of racism. I think he made a mistake and just lost himself. He was gone too much in the story and kept going. Because there's no way in H you can buy your way out of your color. No way. Racism cannot be bought away. It's gonna be here for as long as the world exists. Racism will always be here. It's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. But do we have to accept it? No. Now, I didn't condone sticking up for Conor McGregor and all that, but Sean has his own views. I agree with absolutely none of them on that subject whatsoever. And his dislike for Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather, I don't know. I'm thinking somebody must have said something to him that he didn't like, or he probably called Al Heyman for an interview, and Al Heyman said, and he's like, that's it. Mayweather and Al Heyman, those two. So that's his point of view. Y'all know how I feel, what side I'm on. So that's Boxing Socialist Sean. Now that's all his point of view. Has nothing to do with me. I do not co-sign any of that. Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, was 100% correct. But racism is here to stay. That message he said was just to bring awareness to the people, so that the people will wake up and start talking about why is this so. Because then they got some explaining to do. The HBOs, the ESPNs, all these sponsorships. Hell, the UFC. They didn't bag none of their fighters like this. They ain't bag they black fighters like this. I don't remember Anderson Silva getting any damn thing. Who got attention like this? Conor McGregor comes over and win 3 fights, and that's what killed me about the UFC. Somebody can win 3 damn fights, and they the best fighter in the world. He's just unstoppable. It's his 3rd fight in the UFC, and he's dominating the sport. He's the best fighter in the world. I don't know if anyone can beat him. He's just incredible. I mean, 3 fights? Then they lose the next fight. Then they just bouncing forward. They bounce to the new guy. Unbelievable! What a stoppage on a total 6 seconds. He hit him 2 times and he was out. He's a beast. Oh, I'm a beast. So, yeah, the UFC's like, it's all marketing. So, of course, they're going to use Floyd Mayweather's name and try to attach themselves to Floyd Mayweather's name to build themselves. Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor, all these people, because they're not anything. Conor McGregor, nobody really knows who he is. Nobody. ESPN trying to shove this guy down your throat so you can see him. Like, look at him. He's finna lose his next fight. They're gonna try to screw the guy, so hopefully he win. But he gonna lose the next fight. Then what they gonna say? They gonna roll to the next guy. Now this guy is incredible. His leg strikes. He's the most devastating fighter in the world. It's all propaganda, garbage, just bouncing around. And then you're gonna hear some dude, UFC is killing boxing, bro. Dude, UFC is a company. MMA is the sport. Learn something first. Okay? Boxing is a sport. UFC is a company. So that's like Top Rank versus UFC. UFC is the most dominant company in MMA. So they are a big, gigantic monopoly of the sport. So they're able to dictate the terms of the rules. Where in boxing, the sport, there are many companies, promotional companies, that all the fighters belong to. So one person can't dictate all the rules like Dana White does. Dana dictates all the rules and they have to follow suit because his company is the main company in the little bitty sport of MMA. Point given. When Randy Couture was the big star and K2 the promotional company, had the number one Fedor, was the number one MMA fighter in the world and the number one MMA fighter in history. The world wanted to see that fight. It never happened. Why the biggest fight in MMA history never happened? Ask Dana White that. Because he didn't want to split that money with K2. He didn't want to split the pay-per-view purse. He wanted to keep it all himself and wanted to dictate rules. He didn't want them to get any of the proceeds of the money of the endorsements. They couldn't wear K2 endorsements in the UFC ring. He was like, no. He didn't want to co-promote that way. He didn't want them to put the K2 promotion on there. So ask Dana White how he couldn't make the biggest fight in MMA history happen. Ask him that. Because one, he didn't have Fedor. And he had Randy Couture. And Randy Couture was not going to be Fedor. They wanted to fight each other and you didn't make the fight happen. Because you didn't control the other company. So that's how it works. So they had the same problem in MMA as they would have had it if it was in boxing. If the MMA was big enough. Because all the other companies that tried to form up against UFC, Dana White and them bought them out. Because the Zupas are billionaires. So they just buy out the competition. MMA is so small compared to the boxing realm that they're not even established enough to where there's someone else that can have another company to threaten it. Now, we have another situation developing. Because now you have Bellator and other people from Canada putting their money in to try to challenge the UFC. And they've been having some success, and the Zupas can't buy them out, but they're not worried about them right now. So they're going to let them go ahead and make their money. And all the older UFC fighters who got a name and still want to fight, Bellator paying them money, saying, come on over here, we'll take you. We'll use you guys to sell us. And build ourselves up. So maybe UFC can have a competitor when it's all said and done. Then you can start talking about who's a better company or who's the best, MMA or boxing. Because it's not even comparable. You're on top of the bottom. I mean, it's really a joke. You're trying to compare the two. As far as comparison of the sports, the scales and the scopes are way off. You know, you guys' peak season was when Liddell and them was fighting. Now, you guys are not breaking records no more. Y'all are giving the illusion of that. Ronda Rousey was y'all biggest sell. She was keeping y'all afloat. Conor McGregor is not a big star. That's why they got him and Holly Holm on the same card. And they're hoping Miesha Tate wins, not Holly Holm. So that's that. Enough with that MMA stuff. That's why I don't have one Conor McGregor, I think, video, except for he won against Aldo. That's about it. So this is the most attention he ever got in his life from me. And it's not even warranted. Because he's not that good. So you won what, 3 fights, 7 fights against some guys that were average? You got 2 losses by what, submission? So you're a quitter? Okay. So we'll see what happens in this fight. Once you go past 30 seconds and the roids wear off and the Monster or whatever energy drink will burn out and they put you in the arm bar, they know you're going to quit. You done it before, twice. So why not do it again, right? So for everybody out there, I co-sign Floyd Mayweather. saying that racism still exists in the MMA and boxing world and outside of that world. NFL, NBA, all of it. Look at the NFL is the worst. Shoot, you gotta, whatever you have to put on a rule to make sure that they have to interview at least one African American coach before they hire somebody, lets you know how bad the sport is. A sport that's dominated by African Americans, we still have the controversy of an African American quarterback. We can't even say a quarterback, we gotta call him the black quarterback. Oh, well, they just got the black quarterback. Is he going to be a runner? Is he going to be a passer? Because they consider that the skill position. In blacks, we're just not smart enough to understand routes. Like, we just throw the ball. The white guys, they know how to be quarterback. You got to be smart. So, if a black guy is quarterback, he's dumb. So, he got to run. So, it's retarded. But the stereotype is the same thing Doug Williams had to go through. And then they interviewed Doug Williams whenever there's another black quarterback. And he said, well, do you think that this is over now? The controversy about the black quarterback? He said, no. Because if it was over, you wouldn't be interviewing me right now. Perfect sense to throw it right back in that idiot's face. Why are you calling him or why are you interviewing Doug? If it was just over with the whole prejudice of black quarterbacks, you wouldn't be interviewing Doug Williams. You wouldn't be trying to find Warren Moon. He'll be treated just like any other quarterback. Don't matter what nationality it is. He's just a quarterback. Let him do his job and get over it. Judge him on his performance. That's what I think. What about y'all? No black ownership in the NFL. Black coaches. Look at that. Lovie Smith, 3 years. 2 years out. They have no tolerance for a black coach. But white coach, get fired all day, got a job. They put them up there. We're going to make you offensive coordinator of this team. Oh, no, you going over here. Norv Turner's still in the league. He ain't even done nothing since about 20 years, but he still got a job somewhere in the NFL. Why is that? No black ownership. All these years in the NFL, all the African Americans in there. No ownership. And you think that movie Concussion was a joke? This is a joke. NFL, still today, this is 2016. It's a joke. NBA. You already know that. They want to put certain people on a plateau, other ones negative. Okay? Nowitzki, saint. Nash, saint. Everybody opposing that, evil. Evil. They gotta have one player that's white and is good. What did Larry Bird say? The NBA was getting too black. We needed a couple of white guys out there. Ain't that what Larry said? We need a couple of white guys out there. And what happened? You start seeing all the Europeans come into the pros. And they start blending in. Larry Bird said it. David Stern had to jump up and disagree with him right away. No. That's not what, forget what Larry said. That's not what he meant. Larry didn't know what he was doing. Larry just thought he was talking. You can't say that, Larry. We need just a couple of white guys out there. There's too many black guys that's out there. No. David Stern had to try to clean that up. No, we want the best guys out there. Larry's wrong. But he had already let the cat out the bag. That's why he came in, fired Isaiah Thomas from the Indiana Pacers coaching job, and brought in his buddy Rick Carlisle, who he wanted to have the job anyway when he left the job. But the owners decided, well, Rick Carlisle He doesn't really have the experience. Isaiah have experience. But that ain't what Larry wanted. So Larry came back to take Donnie Walsh's job and fired Isaiah. So Donnie Walsh brought Isaiah to New York with him. Racism still alive. They just be concealing it. They don't even conceal it no more. It's terrible. Hollywood. How many blacks you see in films? Probably 3. If your name ain't Anthony Mackie or what's his name, Michael B. Jordan, you ain't getting no roles. You ain't gonna see what's his name, Omar Epps. You ain't gonna see none of them. You like, man, Chestnut can only get in a Tyler Perry type movie, and then it's called The Black Movie. It's gonna be all the cast with Kevin Hart and friends, same people and doing the same role all over again. And it's like, man, where's our James Bond? You know, if we gonna do black films, do movies. I don't want to see no couples retreat to Vegas and all this stuff, and She Stole My Man Part 3. You know, it's like, we can make movies too. Shoot, let's make our own Avengers with black folks in it. You know, where's our Boomerangs? You know, Eddie had to make Boomerang to show them that blacks ain't always walking around with jeans on, and we also in the business world. That is the only black film or only film to feature all black cast, all in the workplace, the extras, and they all in business suits, and they all conducting business. They're not thugs. The media hated the movie and bashed it, said it was horrible. There was nothing wrong with Boomerang. So if you're at home or you got Netflix, go find or go buy Eddie Murphy's Boomerang. It's a good movie. Let the media fool and lie to you. They just don't want to see blacks in that type of image. But it's okay for them to make films with all white casts. And they'll be in some place like New York City where it's totally diversified. But all the extras in there, they all white just walking around. Makes no sense whatsoever, right? Non-realistic. Nobody questions anything. They judge it as what? A film. But anything with us, it gets judged as a black film. And it's basically bootleg, low budget. Nobody can do anything about it. Oprah, billionaire, right? None of her movies make a dime. None of her movies make anything. Nobody supports none of her films. All those viewers she has, all the billions of dollars she has, every time she puts out a movie, nobody supports it. Bill Cosby, before the allegations, nobody went to support Bill movies. How many people went to see Ghost Dad? Nobody. But he was the Cosby Show, Bill. Nobody went to go support his films. I just don't understand it. We don't get approved for real films. And we have a lot of great writers that are black, second assistants that are black, that are talking about making real films. They're not trying to make New Jack City 9. They not trying to flip dope. They ain't trying to make The Wire. They have real roles, real movies, and Hollywood won't buy the script. If they do, they want to put white people in them. It's like, dude, let us have more than 3. Why does it got to be one token black in there? Like they just threw them in there so that the NAACP won't jump on them or something. And put the blacks in unbelievable situations. Like, we're going ski jumping. Like, yeah, we're going skiing, the black guy. Yeah, I can't wait. It's like, what is he doing in this movie? It's not supposed to be here. So racism is everywhere. And of course we see it at work. And if you work at any machine shop company, you're going to see it a lot. Because I saw it a lot. But I used to work at one. I saw it a lot. There's a certain place they expect you to be. And then there's a certain upper echelon of people, which was based on race and status quo and everywhere else. You know, they see black right away. They say, well, we don't know. Let's fill them out. And they give you tests. And what they want to know is, are you the black guy that's going to buddy up with the other black guys and hang with them? Or are you the black guy that's going to sell them out if we need you to? You the black guy we need. If we got to ask him a question and we feel threatened, we can come to you to go ask him the question. Like if we tell you we going to suspend him if he gets up on the table again and do something, we want to get you to do it. We want to know if you're going to be that black guy. So that happens at every job. And then they find out who they can use and who they can't use. And when they get upset is the fact that they can't use me. See, every bonding thing, no matter how racist the place may be, what bonds us all is sports. How many times you been at your job? White guy, Mexican, Hispanic guy come in. One common bond we always have with all races, and it bonds all countries and nationalities, and it's sports. Did you see the game yesterday? Oh yeah, man, the game. Then all of a sudden everything goes away. You don't care about no politics. You don't care if he's a Democrat, Republican, if he's black. Does he hate white people? Does he hate Mexicans? All you know is y'all talking about that game. And if y'all root for the same team, that's it. You in the house. So sports have always been the bridge to get past or go through racial or creed or any type of hurdles they had. So that's how we got to China. That's how we got to Cuba. That's how we got to Russia. That's how we got everywhere. It was through the love of sports and competition. The world was built on it. So I'm gone. Great educational lesson. I'm gone. I tried to stop this video. Now the video don't want to stop. It wants to keep going. What else there to talk about, Mr. Video Man? Since you won't let me stop it. Ain't this something? This video will not stop. Well, I hope it posts. I didn't want to do all this talking for nothing. Oh yeah, shout out to Hoop Jab. I seen y'all doing y'all thing, y'all coming up. It still won't work. Oh yeah, shout out to FightHigh.com for doing the interview with Floyd anyway to make us make the video. So shout out to Ben Thompson for reaching out to Floyd to get all this started in the first place. So this your fault, Ben. Got me up here talking 30 minutes out of my day. I could have been watching House of Cards Season 3. I'd have made it to Season 3. Had to stop it for this. Now my phone won't stop. What is it waiting for? Is they waiting for the video to hit 30 minutes? Okay. Is that 30 minutes and counting? We have made the countdown. Be like the rebels. We have made it to the threshold. Only $30,000 more. That's it. And we have made it. Stop, machine.